Hi, I'm Andy and I know containers. Born and raised in Germany and now in Australia. Let's talk about how to place a container the right way. It sounds easy, but if you get it wrong, you'll deal with the issues for years. Most people think you just can drop it on the ground, eyeball it, and then you're done. That's not how it works. A container is designed to stand just on its 4 corner castings. That's where the weight is transferred. Nothing else matters structurally. The base rails don't carry load. The floor doesn't need support. The entire box is engineered to rest only on those 4 points. Even a 40-foot unit is fine like that as long as it hasn't been modified. But once you forget the principle, you're asking for trouble. I've seen containers that looked okay first, but 1 week later the doors don't close anymore. The base twists and suddenly water starts pooling where it shouldn't. Most of the time it's because the support points weren't even. Either a corner was floating on the ground underneath, wasn't compacted, or a container was dropped on a surface that's flexed or settled. What matters isn't whether it's a fancy concrete slab or a simple gravel bed. What matters is the load ends up exactly where it should be, under the corners. And the container sits flat and true without twisting or stress in the frame. The corner castings need to sit flush and should not rock or gap. If even one corner is floating, the whole structure starts to shift. Sometimes people place a container under a slightly domed concrete slab or on poorly compacted gravel, and the center touches first while the corners are hanging. The frame flexes in the wrong direction. You might not see it right away, but the structure starts to move. And you feel it later in the way the doors hang, in the floor, or in the overall alignment. The best time to correct is when the container is on ground and the chains are still on. That's when you check the door. If it opens and closes clean, that's your sign. If you have to force to push it or to pull it, make a latch or something is already off, don't walk away from that. You don't need to pour concrete for every setup. Most of the time, 4 solid concrete pads under the corners will do the job. Heavy pavers can also work if the ground underneath is solid and doesn't move. The foundation doesn't need to look pretty, it just needs to be solid, level and load-bearing at the points that matter. Compacted gravel or recycled road base is one of the best options out there. It allows water to drain and gives you a strong, even surface if you prepare it properly. The key is not how it looks, but how it performs. Don't trust your eye. Use a laser level or a proper straight edge. Close enough isn't close enough when it comes to containers. If you're placing something heavier or you have got extra load inside, strip footings can help spread the pressure, especially in wet zones where you don't want anything sinking. Asphalt might look good, but only if it's poured right. Most of the time it's uneven or softened spots. And don't ever drop a container straight onto dirt. Doesn't matter how hard the ground feels, once it rains everything moves. I've seen containers placed on dry paddocks that looked fine. After 1 week, the front corner sinks, the doors jam, people think the unit is broken, but the foundation just failed. And last but not least, leave air underneath the container, always. The container needs to breathe. Steel or timber doesn't matter. Moisture will destroy if it's trapped. I want at least 5 centimeters of space under the base. That's to keep it dry, especially in places with high humidity or poor drainage. Also think about space around the container. A 20-foot box might only measure 6 meters long by 2.5 meters wide, but you'll need more space around it for opening doors, for moving equipment, for future access. I always recommend planning with 20 square meters per 20-foot unit. That includes buffer room to move. It's not exact science, but the number just works. And if you're going to build something on top or cut openings or create joint structures, then forget all what I just said. That's a different game. Then you need full statics, mid-span support or custom foundations. But for the standard storage, as long as you place it as right, 4 corners is all you need. I will cover those in my next videos. Yeah, this is where quality starts. It's on the ground. If you get the base right, the rest becomes easy. If you get it wrong, it only gets worse with the time. If you have got a tricky site or questions around the placement, we can help you sort it out. Check out shipping-containers.com.au if you're planning a setup, need containers, or just want support with delivery and foundations. See you in the next one.